Hello, Steve White, Steve White's 89. I don't think the focus is right, but I'm just going to keep going. Okay, Midnight's Edge. They're at it again. It's their third annual Star Trek Discovery's cancelled rumour time of the year, apparently. The first season was awful, and they said it was cancelled, it wasn't coming back, everyone hated it, and I was like, yes, thank God. And it came back, they did a second year, and they said, they tried last ditch attempt, brought Captain Pike in, brought the Enterprise in, all this stuff. And, it still failed. They're not doing a third season. It's been cancelled. They've lost their funding. Netflix is out. And then it came back for a third season. And they were saying it won't be back for a fourth season. Don't have the funding. And then there was announced they were doing it, that had started filming already. But now they're saying, no, it hasn't started filming. They were just doing pickup shots and doing additional filming to make a series finale out of the season finale for season 3. So there won't be a fourth season. So I saw this video from them the other day, and they're like, we have never said before that the show was going to be cancelled. This is the first time we're saying it, but it's going to be cancelled. It's not coming back. They've lost their funding. It's been taken off the slates. They've torn down the sets. They're leasing out the sound stages for somebody else. It's not coming back. They're done. They had to go back and reshoot an ending to make a series ending out of the season ending, and it's not coming back, which is sort of what they said 3 months ago before we started to see proof that the production was actually heading forward. And I found this really hilarious. I was just watching this. I'm like, really? You think people are going to believe you a fourth time? Or third time. You think people are going to believe you a third time that the show is cancelled when you said it was cancelled each year and it hasn't been. And I was so shocked to hear them lie outright and say, we've never said it before, we've never said it was going to be cancelled. They said it was going to be cancelled every year. They said, we can't verify this, we have to say take it as rumour, but we know from reliable sources that it is cancelled, it's not happening, blah, 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 blah. And I believed them each time because I wanted to believe. The last time I knew I just wanted to believe and it wasn't really happening, but I still wanted it to, but I knew they were just playing on the fact that I wanted it. And it's like they're doing the trump card, the Trump sort of play, where you just tell people what they want to hear and make them feel like they're getting what they want, and you're giving them what they want, and they'll believe you even if it's not true. And then the whole don't believe your lying ears or lying eyes and gaslighting by telling you, we've never said this before, but we're saying it now for the first time. And I'm like, I've still got the videos where you said it the other times. You said it was cancelled. You said you had to say it was rumour because you couldn't independently verify what you were told, but you knew the people were telling you knew that it was cancelled. And now they're saying it's not. And I'm like, how do you lie like that? What do they do? Did they delete the videos? Did they alter them? Did they re-edit them so they actually say something different now? Because what if someone goes back and looks at that video from last year, the year before that, where it says that the show's been cancelled, and they can basically prove it because their sources are so good that they know it's true. But they can't prove it independently, so you have to take it as rumour, and that's their way around everything. And I just thought, wow, that's so dodgy. And Ketwalski, of course, was, despite the fact, I was really shocked he didn't love the last season and he didn't fawn over it and act like it was the greatest thing ever. He actually was online saying, well, you know what, they changed the name of the production. That's why the name of the production that was up on the list before isn't up anymore. It's not that they cancelled the production, they changed the name for some reason. I'm like, well, that makes sense, because of course it's happening. I couldn't get so lucky that show would end. It would have been good if they'd ended after the second year, because they just went off into the future. We never saw them again. It would have been a great mystery. People could have speculated. People could have written novels. It would have been some amazing fan fiction about what happened to Discovery. It would have been a great mystery. But no, they came back. These awful writers who cannot write science fiction, who just really do melodrama, just made a complete pointless mess where this kid is affected by a dilithium planet and screams when his mother dies because they're trapped on this planet. Not that I can't relate to the pain of losing a mother, because I'm still dealing with having lost mine recently. But he screams this primal scream, which is at the same resonance as this dilithium because he's part of the planet now because he's been like altered genetically or something, that he basically causes all the dilithium in active use to explode, and it destroyed all the active starships and crippled the Federation, even though they had other forms of warp drive and they had other means of warp drive and they had other cultures with other means of warp drive who could have just shared their technology. Yet instead they just sat there stagnant for 125 years waiting for Michael Burnham to show up with the spore drive and be like, hey, I can save the day because I'm Saint Michael, I'm God, basically. And then at the end of the series, we have basically her being made captain, and I'm so annoyed that she acts like she's the first black captain, female captain ever on Star Trek. She forgets about Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, Star Trek Next Generation. They all had black female captains before her chronologically, and production-wise, she's not the first black female captain. Marge Sinclair was the first actress who played a black female captain, and she wasn't named in Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, but there were other captains in Next Generation who were black. I'm not sure if we saw any black female captains in Star Trek 5 or 6. We saw some commanders, actually, in Star Trek 6 in the conference and that. But we only really saw Sulu and Kirk, really, in that. And, of course, Star Trek 5, we really only saw Kirk and the Klingons. So it's just really annoying. But, yeah, so we've got this series ending that plays like a season ending that plays like a series ending, where the Enterprise, God, what an insult, God, pull my tongue out. The Discovery has been totally refitted with like TARDIS-like abilities, where basically there are giant caverns inside the ship where turbolifts flow around like roller coasters, and rides you can just travel on for miles, and jump on and off. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's been refitted, redone, and now Saru has retired because he was too interesting a character. He was probably the best character on the show, so they had to get rid of him to make Michael Burnham look good. And now she's the captain of the ship. Now she's going to get that crew killed in about 2 episodes, maybe 3, because she has no self-control. She believes she's the center of the world. She doesn't listen to anyone. She doesn't listen to reason. She just does what she wants, and she's been able to get away with only so much because she was always in, a serving role. She was never a commander. She's always, below a commander, a science officer, something like that. She was never the captain. She always had someone to answer to, someone to stop her from going rogue. But now, in control of a ship, she's going to get them killed in a couple of episodes. So even if there was a 4th season, it'd only be about 2 episodes. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about the rumours that the show was cancelled again, and how ridiculous it is that Edge is trying to fool people again and act like they don't do this and this isn't part of their game, because they need clicks. They need people to watch the show, and they don't have that if they don't have some drama. Now, they had natural drama with Star Trek Discovery being a disaster. They had it with Star Wars being ruined by Kathleen Kennedy and all her gender politics and rubbish. No, I don't hate women. No, I don't have any problem with women commanders, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's some huge problems with that show, with the movies, and they seem to be trying to retcon it. And that's sort of all they've got to talk about now, how great The Mandalorian is and how people are trying to use that to retcon out of existence the new films, the Disney sequel trilogy, and whether that's true or not is interesting. But that's about all they've got on. So now to have other stories, they have to just sort of make stuff up now, I find, and they're just using the same playbook from before. Just say the season's cancelled, piss off all the fans who do like it, the Trekkies who do like it, and then give the ones who hate it something to hope for, keep them, hanging on desperately, with hope. And the actual ending itself was awful, because basically it was just Michael Burnham being like a dictator it's not an ensemble crew where she actually listens and everyone has something to bring to the table, something to contribute, and the group solves all the problems because they've all got different strengths. That's how the original Star Trek, all the crews worked. And the original series was more just the trifecta of Kirk, Spock and McCoy, but the rest of the crews was more the whole crew. But with Discovery, it's just Michael Burnham leads. They all praise Michael Burnham. They all worship Michael Burnham. They all thank Michael Burnham. She literally descends from the sky and saves them in one episode. It's just awful. Now we've got her strutting out onto the bridge in her Nazi uniform with her crew in the Nazi grey uniforms, ready for the dictator to take over and just go out. And it's just, I hope it's the end. I really want it to be the end. It would have been better off if they'd ended when they went to the future, because it would have been a mystery, and they wouldn't have destroyed the future of the Federation by portraying it in such a bad light. That's now isolationist and xenophobic and damaged and a mess, and only Michael Burnham with a magic spore drive that they apparently the future is too stupid to replicate, which is ridiculous. They'd have that thing installed in every ship within like a month in the real future world, but no, because they have to make Michael Burnham the most important person in the galaxy. She's got the command of the ship and they've still got the spore drive and she's the only one who can use it. It's just so badly done. And that's where we're at. Will we get a fourth season of her sporing around the 31st century? Now, if they did that and did an episodic Star Trek-like series set in the 29th century and actually made some changes to make it seem like they'd actually moved forward in the future, it could have some merit. But they won't do it. They'll just pick one boring story, drag it out over 13 episodes, so you never have to actually have a real fully formed story. You just do a bit more and a bit more and a bit more and then it just ends. But yeah, so that's just my rant about Star Trek at the moment. I just was really shocked that Midnight's Edge was trying to play the same it's cancelled game, and that the show ended as badly as it does, and what hope is there for the future for it? I'm kind of looking at other people who are excited for it, and I'm like, I cannot understand how anyone could be excited for Dictator Burnham and her Nazi crew following her around the galaxy like gods. That's not what Star Trek was. And it's all just a melodrama between them anyway. You don't actually get any story or character development or anything, no philosophy, no exploration of humanity. It's basically just a bunch of her whisper talking because she's so important you have to listen to her words, and crying, and people hugging each other and being the bestest ever and the most special family, and it's just gourd. It's just nice to rant for a minute and be distracted by the fact that it's the 4th anniversary of my father's death today. I just want to talk about something else. But yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know. Do you actually think it's cancelled? Do you think there's going to be a 4th season? Do you believe Midnight's Edge? Or have you worked out, like I have a little while ago, that they're just making stuff up because they need the clicks, they need... when stuff happens, they report it well, but when it doesn't happen, they make the news. Because they need the news, because they need their views, they need their clicks, they need their money. They get paid by the views and everything. You know how YouTube works. It's all about money and clicks and popularity, and people will just pick an agenda and go with it and serve their base and make up stories to cater to the people that they know are going to watch, tell them what they want to hear. I don't do that. That's why I don't get any subs. Because I just tell the truth and I just talk about what interests me. I don't have an agenda or a game. I'm not playing anyone. But I've watched other people do it and they've been very successful at it. But I'm really going to go this time. Let me know what you think about all that. It's a bit of a multi-themed video, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go back to watching Wonder Woman. I'm watching the original series because the film's got me excited, and I decided I'm going to sit down and actually watch every episode properly, because I've only watched it once as an adult on DVD since I saw it when I was a kid. So this will be the second time I've actually sat down and watched the series properly. So I'm going to go do that. And then I'm going to do a review of each season, I think. But I'm really going to go this time. Thanks. Bye.